Okay.
Woohoo!
Hello!
Hello,
Hey.
everyone. Welcome back to Reality Realness.
We're back!
We're back. Season 8, Canada, Big Brother Canada. Finally here. They finally dropped the class. I'm Chantele Francis, and we're here with my co-hosts.
I am Michael Pez.
And our lovely guests.
Hi, I'm Nick Rovers. How are you doing?
And
We just found Nick on the street corner. We just thought, hey, you want to be on the show?
Never even seen the show. I just thought this sounded all cool.
It's like, I am a big brother. No.
Yeah.
Really, Nick, what is your relation to Big Brother Canada and the Big Brother TV show as a whole?
I would be confident in saying Big Brother has been the majority of my life in the past years, especially recently, even more so recently. Big Brother is just my life. I'm always thinking about it. I produce my own little silly game of it, and I'm always thinking of challenges, being critical of the show, loving the show, and it's just such a big part of my life for sure.
You're in.
Yeah.
Season 9, starring Nick Rovers. Woohoo! So I thought that it'd be a good idea to get together and talk about this cast reveal. They just dropped the cast yesterday afternoon, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. What do you guys think?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Based off of the last couple of years, I'm actually very excited about these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the people they have. I think they have a lot more relatable people this year. I think there's a lot more of people to root for as opposed to people to root against in this season.
Fair. I mean, for me, like when I first saw the cast, I'm always a little bit bitter bust. I'm like, why were you this year? Because I think that would be really good. But I wasn't like, oh, they all suck. I'm not watching this season. Like, I definitely feel inspired a little bit. I'm like interested to see in what they would do or how they're going to play. So I'm happy with the cast, but sad that none of us are part of this year's show.
It's not our year, but I think they did a good job in casting people Canada will want to watch. I know they've gotten some criticism over the past US season and this season about who they're accepting onto the show and like levels of fandom. I think there's a lot of super fans this season. I think there's a lot of just like regular relatable people, and I think it'll be fun to throw these regular people into the chaos of Big Brother and see them squirm a bit. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah. And did you notice that they cast? Okay, so my whole thing is that like every year there's always seems to be that one person that takes my storyline, you know? And now what do they have? They have a one kidney person in the house? Come on.
Oh, I didn't even read that far.
Wait, I didn't see that. Who has one kidney?
And they're gay? Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Carol.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was thinking gay man.
Like, I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm like, I'm a cancer survivor. And I got like one kidney. And and I'm over 40. I'm almost 40. So
also big lesbian.
That's a lesbian.
Yeah.
So what if we did a little bit of a draft? Just get some teams. So like if we throughout the season want to have another podcast, we can have a little friendly competition.
Hell yes. Can I insist that it's not friendly competition and it's brutal competition?
Yeah, we just like stab each other and like shake.
Okay, winner. What is the winner gonna get? Do we have a prize here?
I think that we should do something. I don't know. Like, should we go down to Niagara Falls for the finale party?
That's the thing.
I mean, I think it's a thing. I think I've heard about some things that, yeah. Okay, so we will.
Like a little Niagara Falls trip.
All right, it wouldn't be like only on the losers to pay for it, but it would.
No, you know what? I want the losers to buy the winner a house. I'm going for that.
A tiny little birdhouse.
Yeah.
Why don't we say that the two losers have to take the winner? The winner gets like the free hotel room.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, they can sleep on the floor.
Well, no, I just they just like don't pay for the hotel. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Just go on Grindr and get a person, and then you can just stay on their floor for free or on their couch or whatever.
Exactly.
There you go.
Okay, so there's 16 people, so one person is going to be what? The viewers?
No, the first out, because none of us are. We're all skilled enough to not pick that person, and they're obviously going to be the first out.
Okay.
Well, or we'll just give it to all of our fans.
Yeah, they get them, and if they win, then we buy them a hotel room. Sure.
Yeah, well, usually like it's somebody like the first person usually goes. It's like Steve from 20, or like, somebody else, and it always seems to go not very well for the viewers. So viewers, we got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Nick's our guest. Our guest will go first. He'll pick one. Mike, do you want to go second or third?
I'll go third.
It's going to be a snake draft, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 3, 4,
okay.
and back around, and then you'll do 2, etc., etc.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll go third.
Strategize. Okay. So I watched all their videos. I skipped through some of them because they were boring me, but I saw enough of what I need to know. I think the strongest pick, someone that I would actually probably be like in the game or want to work with immediately was Angela. Or Angie.
Okay, gonna go for the black lady.
She honestly, everything she was saying, I was like, yep, I agree with that. I respect that. That's what I want to see. And I think that the like regular, normal, non-crazy people will also gravitate towards that. And there's a lot of, it seems like regular, normal people in the house. So I think they'll all want to be in her ear, hear what she has to say, and I think that she can go really far.
I think
and she has the drive to win. She said, I want to win. I'm going to win. I like hearing people say that.
Yeah, she seemed very comfortable. She seems like one of those people that would be very comfortable in the house.
Yeah.
And she didn't seem like she was too like wild and crazy and out there. So yeah, I agree with you. She wasn't on my list at all.
Too bad she's mine.
No, good.
Well, she's a 33-year-old woman from Winnipeg. Claims to be the biggest super fan. So anytime I see someone saying that they're going to be a super fan, I'm like, asterisk, that's good for me because that means they want to play. And I love watching people that want to play. So I think this is a super good pick. I love that she said that Glitter Gary was her favorite player because, like, Gary was competitive, he was fun, he was entertaining, and he was likable. And I think that those are pretty good characteristics of a player.
Right.
And I like that. I think it's a good pick.
Cool. Thank you. Well, she's mine, so back off. So.
Back off. So then for me, who did I put as my first pick? I don't even know. Oh, I'm going to go with little blondie from Toronto, Miss Madeline. She's
good job.
Old. She's Aquarius like me, and I had to support my fellow Aquarians. When she was speaking with Ika, she was saying things that sounded like they could be me. She was talking a lot about loyalty. She's talking about making sure that she had a ride or die, getting an alliance together from the beginning to have a really core group. That's the way that I would play the game. She's blonde, cute, and nice. So I think that she will be well liked within the house. And she's a teacher. And so she knows how to interact with children or younger people. Who's calling me? Okay, hold on.
So one of our viewers already disagrees wholeheartedly. They might call it in. Let's go.
No.
Oh,
You can call down too? Hilarious.
I call too.
And she also says she uses her inner Ika in certain situations, which I definitely like. So I feel that she's the most like me, and I want to see how well she does.
Okay.
Mike?
Michael Pence.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so I just watched all the tapes, and I am gonna go with just my little bit of I don't know why I'm picking this person, but she just seemed like the one that I think I would relate to very well, and that's RHIANNE.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She seemed kind of your vibe. When I was watching her video, I was kind of like, I was thinking of you as well.
I was like, RHIANNE, she's like a doctor. She's like Riri in the house, and like how she's just like gonna be level-headed, but at the same time she's not afraid to like fight, and she seems like she's kind of cool.
Mhm.
So,
Super fan as well.
And she
yeah.
talked about how she, throughout her life, she's always been able to make friends with everyone and any type of person, which is a very key aspect of the game. And I think there's a lot of different types of people in this house, especially this year. So I think that can really bode well for her, even just on like a human personal level, and that can transfer into the game of like, I don't want to kick this person out. They make me feel happy about myself. So,
I love how we all picked female so far.
so far.
I thought they were a lot stronger, to be fair. Like, I was like, okay, I'm interested in what you have to do. I think this is a year of a female winner for sure.
Though, if I could, also add, the women were just getting right down to specifics, and the guys were being kind of characters a lot in their videos. And I mean, maybe they were distracted by Ika, who knows? But it just seemed like the women were there a lot more to play right from the start.
I didn't watch the Ika interviews. I watched all the ones that were on Big Brother Canada. So they all like they're all, but they're all like they're all very caricature videos, and that's what I kind of wanted to see. The ones with Ika, like I'll watch that later.
Yeah.
Probably maybe have different opinions, but based off of the ones that I watched on the sites, everyone chooses what they have to say, and some of them I'm like, I'm not picking that person whatsoever. So unfortunately, I don't want to. There's a few that I just don't want. So going right into my next choice, because I get two, I will take. I'm gonna pick John.
Okay.
The young 22-year-old from Kamloops, BC. He's very much like a surfer. He talks like a surfer. He says, I've never surfed before in my life. He's like, I'm very smart. He's like very book smart. And he looks like he's one of those people that could like really like win in competitions. And he's also going to be very likable. So I think he's like the actual lovable goof of the house as opposed to those other goofballs.
You helped satisfy my. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
He also said that he was a new fan, which is also a red flag in my book.
Did you say a new fan? A new fan?
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's 22.
Well, and that's exactly kind of what I'm saying. He's a new fan.
The new human.
He should audition. So, like, he went and he did it and he got it. Cool, but I don't know. I think he might be outplayed, personally.
I think he was even saying he wants to be like Dane. He's from that same kind of lifestyle. I just think that he's going to be outshined, and you kind of helped me satisfy. I was debating whether I pick them or not. Pick John, and then when you said it, I was kind of like, okay, good. I don't think about that anymore because I was unsure, which is probably not a good sign for them. But I think he said something about he wants to go in and kind of do a Pretty Boys thing, and that a lot of the guys that were cast seem like kind of bro-y caricature dudes, and I think they might go for it because everyone just wants someone to speak up and then hide underneath that protection, and I think it might work just like it did on the Pretty Boys. Who knows?
Okay, so my next pick is I'm going to go for Michael from Prince George.
He's hot.
He's hot. I'm thinking that he might have a showmance with my girl Madeline.
Yeah, I know. They both like animals.
Like, that's kind of what I was vibing or feeling. He's in the military. It says he's pretty single. He's a handsome guy. He seems quite level-headed. I think he's going to be likable. I think the girls are going to be into him. I don't think that people are going to be out to get him or getting him out of the house. I think that he's going to have people want him to be around. And I couldn't really tell what his strategic chops were going to be, but I think he's going to be in the game long enough to develop them if he doesn't have them.
Right.
So I think it's a good shot of going far.
I agree with that. He was kind of just giving off little monotonous like comebacks and one-liner psycho, which I like that because I'm a sarcastic dick as well, and I was like, oh, maybe we get along that way, but I didn't really get a ton about how he's going to be in the game, or I don't know. I think he's a solid pick, but I don't know if he'll go all the way. That's my thing. So the first video I watched was of this person, and I immediately was like, okay, this is great. Like, we're going to get some good people this season. This is the first one I'm watching. All their answers were similar to what I would say, and this person is VANESSA. So she's an East Coast super fan, going crazy. She was going to be my first pick for sure until I saw Angie, and I was just like, I think Angie's just like really solid. Anyways, back to VANESSA. I think I really resonated with her when she said, what type of people do you not get along with? And she said people who are just like, like they're kind of not in it to win it, and she's alluded to like actually shaking people awake kind of thing. And I do that if I'm uncomfortable around someone because they're down or they're quiet. I will go over there and just like out energize their downness. So you have to just come up to my level, because I can't really be around the mopey downness easily. That doesn't work for me. And she kind of expressed that, and I think she's going to get along with a lot of other high energy people, and she's going to make solid bonds, because I think you can really trust people that bring you out of your shell if they do it in the right way. And I think she has the ability to do that. And she's a huge fan. She's like diehard fan. She said she's a 9 out of 10 for super fan. I wouldn't even say 9 because I don't watch live feeds, but like I think she's good.
She was my next pick, so that was good.
She was on my list as well.
Who's your next one, Nick?
Oh, I'm debating whether I want to say them or not, because it's between two, but I think I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna say Sheldon. He's very calculating. I think he will be behind the scenes well enough, but that people will just want to talk to him because he's friggin' handsome, and he seems like he said that it quality, has that it thing. I didn't see it really come out in the interview, but I believe him if he says it. I think people will want to come up to him and get to know him well, and I don't think they'll see him as a threat because he's emotionally cool. He says he doesn't lose his cool easily. I feel I'm the same way in adversity, and I just think that he will lead a lot of the behind the scenes things. I think he can go really far, and if he makes it to that top 4, top 5, he can win the comps to just take himself there to top 2.
Yeah, I had a big star beside him. He wasn't on my list, but he was the one, like I was saying to Chantele before you just came onto the screen. Right. You have other people, the people that I have question marks beside, and stars are the ones that end up winning the entire game. So
you have to blend in past the first few weeks, and those people we aren't sure of will probably do that. The ones that stick out will be probably targets early.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not sure that, like, I mean, I think he's a good pick, but he doesn't drink, and I don't know if they're going to have a lot of alcohol in the house.
Yeah.
That might just be problematic, just because, like, yes, you can say that, like, I'm boisterous and fun and can fit in that kind of scenario. Sometimes if you're not on the same level, like, alcohol-wise, it's hard to really actually fit in that way. So he might want to go to bed early and people stay up late, or you know what I mean? Like, so I think he's a great pick, but I'm just worried if he's going to be able to connect on all levels if people are drinking and stuff like that in the house.
I agree, but do they really give them alcohol all that often, or like?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a factor or not.
I think when they do, like, especially on season 2, alcohol was a huge thing. They went wild. They got people excited, made for great TV. I think he'll still be around. I don't think he's against it, or it's gonna like. I don't think he has any traumatic experiences that he talked about with alcohol. He just says he doesn't drink. Mm-hmm. And one of my best friends doesn't drink, and he's the life of the party, and he still is part of that, and he has a ton of friends, and I think it's you can make it what you need it to be, and he knows. He even said, he's like, I'm going to the game. I think he was the one who said, like, this isn't real life. I'll be able to do what I need to do, and I think he can just turn it on and pretend even to be having more fun, even sober. So.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So now we're starting to get into muddy waters of people that I'm picking.
There's a few that I'm just like, I do not want. Don't make me default pick them.
I'm going to go because I feel like I want to have. Okay, I think I'm going to go for NICO. He's 31. He's a Libra, which is actually what the cell was. I feel like I'll just enjoy him. They all have an upward battle because I was looking at all the signs of people. There's a lot of Virgos.
I know, right?
Sorry for any Virgos that are watching, but yeah, you're still you. Toronto generally get along with a lot of people. There's a multicultural city. Like, you've grown up with different cultures and backgrounds, so I think he'll get along with people. He's in sales, so this also means that he's kind of interacting with different people. So I think that he will get like in with the bros, and I think that he'll be friendly with the girls, and I think that he'll be able to really assimilate well. I couldn't really tell his strategic style, but I think that he will be liked.
I think he's gonna go first.
Oh.
He was one that I skipped through the most because I kept looking, just like I could talking about like, oh, you're good at pickup lines and one line, or was that him? I forget. There was nothing exciting about watching him, and I think that will do well for getting him by the first few rounds. I don't think he's going to build those intense social connections you need to just have like to get into a great strong alliance. I think he'll be kind of always like the fourth or fifth on any alliance that shows up.
I can see that. And then
Is it Pez's pick, or do you get two now?
Yes, Pez's pick. I should have done something in the other order. Okay, never mind.
So wait, do you want to just go again?
No.
Okay. Then I will take, and this might seem like, oh, I'm going to go maybe away from my two dots. I will take, I'll take HIRA. Yeah.
Okay. I said Heat with a K. I'm like, didn't they have two last season? You mean HIRA? Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I'll take HIRA. I don't know. Just they would have like a sneak in the house before, and if they're gonna put somebody in there who is of his faith and everything, I think they're gonna pick a really good one. And he's from Brampton, and and I don't know. There's something about him that I kind of like. I'm like rooting for that guy.
Yeah, you want to see the you're putting your money behind something that we've never seen in the house before, like or that kind of personality as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, he's 30-year-old. He's from Brampton. He's an accountant. He's married. I'm worried because if he's representing diversity, that that might interfere with his gameplay style or like how people perceive him within the house. But I'm interested to see what happens.
I like how he's competitive. You need to be in this game, I feel. I just found you hadn't seen it, but in the Ika interview, within the first minute, less than a minute, she didn't physically do it, but she basically stopped the interview and shook him to wake up because he wasn't delivering questions or he wasn't energy. And then she even defended him saying like, oh yeah, it's early in the morning. But like, I don't know. He didn't have that gusto that I want to see in a house guest. Like if I was sitting in that chair across from Micah, I would have been freaking out, but still myself, and maybe himself is just being really quiet and not that excitable, but I don't know how that'll do for him in the game.
Yeah. Then I will take Kyle.
Okay. He was my next, so good job.
Taking Kyle because he, as much as he's got like the long hair and that goofball personality, he's kind of like, I don't know if it's a good way of comparing him to Sam from BB21, the truck driver, but like he's very much like the dad that could be loud, that's goofball, that's lovable, and he's just not some of the other people.
I think his strength will be real talking people. I think that you will bond well with the people that you can see aren't playing you as a gamer or they're just sitting like wanting to get to know the human that they're in the game with. And I think his strength will be that. And I think that'll just build a lot of trust. And then it's like, okay, this guy, he's big, he's scary, he might win competitions, but if I'm in his good books, great. My only fear with him is I think everyone's going to realize they're in his good books because he loves people and he loves having those real conversations, and he has like his past that he would probably want to relate to people on, and I think he's going to be very forgiving. But I think people will talk and then be like, oh wait, he's good with everyone, we got to get him out. So I don't know. He was like a middle of the pack for me, but I'm rooting for him.
For sure, and like he has a good story, so that will bode well definitely in the beginning with if he shares it with bonding, especially with the women or even with the men, like to this is where I came from, this is what I've gone through, this is where I am now. Having those like really meaningful moments is really great for building trust and building people like kinship with people. But if someone too strategic hears about that, might use that as a way to like get him out, being like, hey, if he gets to the end, who's not going to give it to the recovering addict that has 2 children? So. Yeah.
My advice to him would be win the first HOH, because we're talking about when he has all these conversations in the first week, especially if it's a twist, it's an instant thing, just no veto, who knows? There's a lot of people in that game. He might just get cut early without having had that chance. So I think he needs to win HOH to get that, or Canada votes for his safety, because I think that will be good, because then Canada will vote him to have safety for the round.
And we should talk about who we all voted for the safety.
I have yet to vote. I wanted to hear this out with you guys still.
I haven't even gone that far yet. Oh boy, so I actually do not know who I want now.
Same.
I am gonna go against the grain here and go for our one kidney lady
Okay, good. Yeah.
and go for Carol.
Not a bad pick.
Traditionally, she wouldn't be someone that I picked, but I feel like she might have the personality to get her through. I think she's likable. I feel like she's smart. I feel like she is, she has a big personality, but she might be someone that people want to keep around because she has a big personality. Keep her out in front. Keep her like as a big shield. I don't know if she's going to be a competition prowess, but maybe some of the mental competitions that come through, maybe she'll remember those A and B and before and afters really well. Like, I don't know. I think that people will like to strategize with her. And so if she kind of gets, like, I'd want her to win the first HOH actually, because I feel like typically she could be the first boot just because she looks a little bit different. Like, she's a little bit older. The younger people might not originally gravitate towards her, but if she wins the first HOH, allows herself to have a little bit of that power and the opportunity to build some relationships and some bonds, I think that she could go quite far just because she won't necessarily be the outward target.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to say something, Chris? Do you want me to say something?
No, so I completely agree with you. She was the last of my my picks that I had originally made. I think she's cool. I feel like I know her. You know, she's very relatable. So I feel like she's the kind of person that I would like to have in the house with me, but I'm not in the house. So I kind of, I'm worried about her for that first HOH. And I'm worried about her for those first couple of weeks because she might not be able to get in there and be so sociable and everything. So we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah. If I could add that, I think when she was answering her questions to Aika, she was so professional and scripted, and she would repeat the questions back the perfect way. And I was just like, okay, she's in professional mode. I think she might come across, that's because of nerves, and also she is just a professional person probably, but I don't know if her nerves will get to her in the house and she will not be able to form those natural connections really early. But the one thing I did really like about her is how she kept saying, she's like, oh, I have abs underneath here, and I'm like, I will like physical comp. She's going to be a comp beast. So I think that she will surprise us in those endurance comps and those physical things that people will maybe even throw them to her. They feel confident, comfortable with her, and I think she'll be underestimated. I think that can really help her in the game too.
Yay!
So I'm not against putting this person on my team. I didn't know exactly who, but I'm glad they're still around. But my next pick is Suzanne. She seemed very flirty. She talked about being proud Italian. And that she's a big fan and that she wants to win things, which I like. My only fear for her is if she talked about in high school, like boys getting Suzanned, or people that she knew she was called like kind of like a mean girl kind of vibe. I don't know if that's going to come out in the show, if she's going to know that I'm in a game where I probably shouldn't do that to people, if she's just not going to have that filter and it's going to be to her detriment. But I think she's going to be a fierce competitor, and she talked about wanting to flirt with boys. I think she'll win some people to her side, and I think that she can be part of that alliance. Whether she's going to be that big super player that we all want to watch, I don't know, but she's my fourth pick for that reason.
I mean, she was one of those people that said this is the best social experiment. And so that makes me think that she doesn't really watch the show. Like, I agree, it is the best social experiment, but like, it's like a buzz like phrase of like, oh my God, it's the most amazing social experiment possible. And it's like, okay, yeah, it is, but why do you actually think that? Because you've never seen the show and someone told you to say that. So I'm worried that she doesn't know what she's getting herself into.
Had she seen the show though?
I don't remember, but just whenever people say that, I'm always just don't think that they're as big of a fan as they actually might be. She said that she wants to be strategic, so that's good that she's looking for the strategic element of the game. I don't know. I feel like she might not, like, I think that she's probably used to being the mean girl in high school, but I don't know if she's going to be able to pull that card here in this game.
My read on her is just that she is a loud girl from Vaughan. We know a lot of girls from Vaughan. Be honest, she's like, I hope I'm not like the loud one, because if I'm the loud one, then I'm gonna go and like blah blah. It'll put a big target on me, and I'm like, yeah, and you can tell. I get a good sense on people, and like, she's not on my list. She's never gonna be on my list. So Nick,
think of Sabrina season 2. She was loud and in your face, and that's what you want. I think if she's loyal to people, people will see that and want to work with her, and they'll use her as a shield, because everyone writes her off like, you're not gonna win, you're not gonna get far. So if I'm working with her, she'll start the fights I want her to start, and I'll be protected by it. But you work with her secretly. I think she can find her niche within the house.
sure. You know that you're also picking people to win.
I know, but that's what I mean. I'm like, everything for me is about winning, is about surviving the first 5 rounds, and from there you have really solidified your position, and the comp wins matter more. I think there's phases to the game, and right now, because they're all still in it, I'm thinking who's going to survive those first 5 evictions, and that's why I picked these people.
Gotcha. I'm shocked that this one person hasn't been picked yet, but go ahead.
I think Angie is going to win, though. That's why I went first and picked her first. So.
Who's next? Who picks next? Shall I tell you pick next?
Is this my last pick, or do I have one more? My last pick.
We all got one more pick each.
No, I got my last pick, and then you get the last 2. No, Pez?
Do I do 2? Do I do 2 now because we're doing the snake?
No, wait, you're done, Nick.
I have 4.
Am I wrong? You had Angie, Vanessa,
Sheldon, Suzanne.
That's 4.
4.
Who picked
So
Kyle?
we get 5 each with 1 left over.
Who picked Kyle?
Pez.
Okay, so then never mind. Then you do get a second pick right now.
My 5th pick is I don't know how I feel about this, because I think she could just be like a Nick on season 2 and it's quiet and just kind of get voted out early because who cares. But I think Brooke, and I'm not upset to have Brooke on my team because of the fact that she works around like in a homeless shelter. I think she's used to dealing with people. I think she won't start fights, but she'll stick up for herself and she'll win respect that way. She's a big fan. I think she's sweet enough, but I could see that just the way she was answering and like kind of bouncing back with Ika, I think she will have the personality to not be walked over and not be overlooked. And I think that's why people will go to her to want to work with her as well.
I also think she looks like Sarah Hanlon, but brunette.
I mean, everyone, I saw a lot of archetypes this season with the casting, with looks, but also just the vibe they were giving off. I'm like, yeah, they picked another one of these. They picked another one of these. Okay, they're giving me that vibes, and she gave me that.
It's a great pick. I'm surprised that she wasn't snatched up earlier. So,
for me, it was quiet. People go home early a lot too, and I think she's going to be probably the quietest of my picks.
Interesting.
Maybe
over Suzanne, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But Sheldon might be quiet too, but I'm not. I think he's going to be quiet in group settings, but I think he'll be doing a lot of talking and strategizing and forming of bonds.
All right, Chantele, what's your next pick?
Good luck.
I'm just gonna go team flight attendant and take Ming Lee.
Cool.
Cindy with an S. Gotcha. You have fun.
She's from Montreal. I lived in Montreal for a bit.
This is the excitement I love.
She's 28. She's representing some diversity, which I'm happy about. I think she's really beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
I didn't really see any personality really that much in her interview with Ika. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know if that said something or doesn't say something, but I think she might, like, if she's anything like just going specifically by her background, if she's anything like the original version of, what was her name from Big Brother 21? Asian girl? She was great in the beginning anyway. Funny.
I'm blanking.
Anyways, whatever. Doesn't really matter. If she has a great personality that we couldn't see in that thing, I think she could go far. I don't see her as being a threat, so she might be able to just float by for a bit, and maybe it will get into like a little bit of like a flirtmance or a showmance of some sort. I feel like she does have like kind of a flirty vibe. She seems like open to, you know, guys, it seems, or relationships. So I'm thinking she's just going to latch onto maybe a guy and move along in the game, and then maybe start getting some strategy. But I really couldn't get that big of a sense of her, but I just really didn't like the other two guys.
Good point. She would have been my pick among the three as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. So she, from the thing that I saw, she's not. I don't think she's gonna be very well liked. She seems like she even said she was, "I'm a bitch. I hate bitches. I'm like blah blah blah. I'm catty. Blah blah blah." And she just is like, yeah. You know what? He's gonna be great TV.
Yeah, but how much of that is for her? How much of that is for her caricature at the start?
Sure, but I'm not going to vote for that girl to like save her that first week.
Yeah, true.
I'd rather save somebody being like, "Hey, I'm a cancer survivor, kidney cancer survivor." I'd rather vote for that person than someone says, "I'm a bitch." Cool. Yeah. Let's vote for you. Wow.
That's a cool message for like if you're ever on the season and in that similar position.
Yeah, like, hi guys. Canada may want to give you stuff. There might be secret powers later on.
There always is.
Person.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take, for my last pick, I'm going to take Chris Wiley because he is from my hometown, and he's 28. He's from Markham, and I'm from Markham, and cool.
He seemed like a robot that I was immediately uncomfortable, and I could pick up on the social things, and I just saw Ika kind of weirded out in her chair during that whole interview, and he was very strange, and not in like a, ooh, I want to watch this, you're kooky and eccentric. Like, I don't think I think he's going to be like, why did they cast this person? Yeah. That's my vibe on him.
Want to hear something that's so annoying?
Yes.
So the guy, Jamar, that nobody picked, is what I got I got a randomized draft pick for a fucking thing. I'm like, I don't want him. There's no chance he's gonna win.
Not at all.
And the stupid computer randomizer just stole $25 from me. Yeah. But maybe, you know what though? Maybe because I'm a lucky person, that is what help. My luck is gonna help his game out because
I like that outlook.
I didn't even pick him, and he's on me.
I immediately got Swaggy C vibes, and I'm just like, they're trying to make fetch happen with Swaggy C, and I just
good Swaggy C. Like
that's what I mean. Swaggy C was better.
I like Swaggy C.
I just don't think him and I would have had anything to talk about in the house. I don't love cocky people. I like convincing people. And like people that convince me, and he just didn't give me any. I was just watching his interview hoping it would end soon. That was
it. And like I was just really awkward.
I mean, oh my god, I'm the most popular person in the world.
Wow, we have a lot of viewers.
It's calling with their questions.
Like, don't pick that kid from Ajax.
Okay, so the teams are, so Nick, your team is Angie, Vanessa, Sheldon, Suzanne, and Brooke.
Good team.
Yours is Rhianne, John, Hira, Kyle, and Chris. And I got Madeline, Michael, Nico, Carol, and Ming Lee.
I like all of your teams way better than mine.
I will agree.
I definitely agree.
But you know what? I thought the same thing for BB20, and I ended up winning that one. So, like, we'll see what happens.
Okay, good.
But like you won, it was just so like it was a fluke because it was like in the right like universe that shouldn't have happened. But anyways,
Tyler should have won. You mean?
Well, like no, Tyler, I didn't have. No, did I have Tyler? Or do you have Tyler? No, all my people just went out at the beginning.
I'm Casey.
So I don't actually know what are we voting on?
Our person makes it to the end.
No. Like for like the game. What's the?
Oh, you're voting. Canada is giving safety to, was it 1 or 2? I think some people will just survive, kind of like Heaven and Hell in season 6. Some people will be put into heaven, and Canada decides who gets those.
Yeah. And so it's more than one person is going to be in that position.
I don't know. I think, or maybe just one.
I think you only get one vote, but I don't know how many people are going to be put through to the next round. But I'm thinking there's going to be like a quick chop right at the start, like they did to Glenn. Like for example, like I think there's going to be a supersized premiere where they're going to evict someone, and the safety person will be avoided from that, or safety people. I don't know.
Well, do you guys think that it's just going to be the 16 and not 4 returnees?
I mean, that would be a great twist, and it would actually live up to supersize, because 16 is a pretty standard size cast, I would say. It's like 14 to 16, right? So it's not, I'm not blown away by supersize me on 16, but I would love
because they're making everybody these superheroes.
It's all
they are big superheroes. Maybe they're coming back as 4 supervillains, and their coaches. Like it could be another coach's vibe.
I mean, I could be into that, but I mean, I actually would be into that.
Yeah. But are they going to bring back returners so soon after season 5? Who knows?
Exactly. They haven't had anybody that I'm like, oh my god, I need to see them play and win. Like,
agreed.
Yeah. People. Not who cares. I mean, everybody's been great, but I'm not ready yet for some.
I would like to see Sam from season 7, BB Can 7, without Adam. I think she would have more to give, because I think she was well liked and she was great at the game, and that's why she was like top of the hit list for Pretty Boys, because she was the thing that could have destroyed it, and she just didn't win when she needed to. And I think if she was a returner, I mean, and you also like they posted pictures of past house guests in the like memes or something recently, and she was one of them. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, maybe she's coming back. I was not upset.
Hira, some 2 other people.
For what were you saying?
They were
the like teasers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Anyways.
I saw Brittany in one of them. I saw Ika in one of them. I saw like a bunch of different people, like just the ones on Global TV. And Sam was my favorite last season. Sam was my favorite. And then also I'd love to see Erica come back. I'd also like to see the Ding Dongs come back. And yeah.
I don't know if Erica would play any differently than she did, though. Like, I think we saw what Erica had to bring, and I liked what she brought, but I don't think she would do anything much differently. I think Sam could without being tied to the enemy. Like, she was tied in with Adam, and
yeah,
I don't know. I would like to see, this is a weird one. I was thinking about it last night. I think I'd actually like to see Heather from season 2 play again, because she was misunderstood. She was liked towards the end. I think Canada started liking her again. The house guests started liking her again. She made it to that top 4 spot, lost the veto, was super devastated when she got, when she knew she was getting voted out. And I want to see people scramble and try and just never give up until you're out the door. And I think she did that, and I like watching that. So I think Heather would be a great returner to come back. I don't know if she'd be a coach or a superhero in any way, but I think she would be fun for me to see.
Yeah.
Well.
Sure. Well, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I like that.
Let's keep it up, and maybe we can once a week just chit chat and see how our people are doing.
Yeah, I'm super down for that because this is fun, and I like talking to you guys, even if I can't see you every day.
Right.
Exactly, you can see us here, and if you want to record it, I'll send you the recording so you can watch it over and over and over again.
Oh, good. I'll just fall asleep with it beside me on my phone playing.
Oh, I can hear my voice lull you to sleep. Well, it was super fun having you, Nick and Nick. Glad you had a good time. I'm interested to see how your team fares, if you're going to beat one of us.
I hope I do. I think you guys have some good house guests on there, and it all comes down to what Big Brother does and how these people scramble. We've seen a very little shred of them in front of Ika or doing their like intro reel thing. Like, this is not when you're around the competition, you're going to be a different way than when you're around producers pumping you up, you know? So I think it'll be really interesting to see how they do and how these first impressions play out.
I know. I'm so excited to be like, oh.
I know. I already feel like they're my babies.
I know. It's like...
Yeah.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Premiere is next Wednesday, March 4th, and that'll be on at 8 p.m. On Global Television, and you guys can tune in and see our reactions and see how our teams did. And tune into Reality Realness here on YouTube. If you want to subscribe down below, please do so. My name is Michael Pez.
And I'm Chantele Francis.
I'm Nick Rovers.
Yeah.
And thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much, guys. Cheers.
Yeah.
Realness. 3 S's. Bye. Ciao.